You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now. Or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAK Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode.
Zip, 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 zip.
Zip, 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 zip.
Zip, 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 zip. Hello. I might be. Hello, welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 184. You're listening to this on Friday, September 20th. We're recording this on Monday, September 16th, beginning of the week.
Sorry, you're hearing this, right?
Very, very faintly.
Oh, my piece.
Is that on purpose or is that?
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Okay.
No.
Sorry, my sounds are loud now, and I don't know. I'm very confused, and I'm just annoyed because my stupid fucking soundboard, that I paid literally $10 for. I just need to get a better one. Is all it means. But I don't want to, because I don't want to spend the money, because then I have to restart. That's the annoying. Even though it's literally deleted like half of my sounds for no reason, so I just need to restart anyways.
I wouldn't be surprised if you had to have them all on your computer. You know what I mean? So for that soundboard, because it is just so shite.
Right. Like that was part of it. Is like, I think once I don't know. But then I have all my it's because my sounds are on my hard drive. Even though my hard drives I think are like going to shit, and I just need to buy new hard drives. Is the other thing too. So I need to buy a lot of new things, and you can help out at home because we just started a GoFundMe. It's just for me, and so I can buy new stuff. Just appreciate it if you guys would go donate. You gonna donate, Gavin?
Hey.
I'll take that as a yes. Hey, let's actually
Carson, what we got on the docket today?
The things we're not talking about are
Out of my way, son! Door stuck!
we're not going to talk about my soundboard. Okay. What we are going to talk about is we have a big, nasty little taste test that
we've been dying for this one.
Yeah, for like a month now, I feel like I've been waiting so long for this to come out, and it's finally out. Finally got it. We both got it in the same week. Gavin has a story that he can tell when we get to that. About his journey about an hour ago of trying to get it. And of course, what I'm talking about, I'll show real quick on camera, is the Coca-Cola flavored Oreos and the Oreo flavored Coca-Cola. Craziest combo ever. Yeah. And
they don't make it like that. They always said like you don't make them like how they used to, but I'd argue this is just like how they used to.
This is exactly how they used to put Coke in Oreos, folks. And they used to put Oreos and
Coke.
That's how they made it in the olden days.
That's how they used to get high.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah.
Oreos.
Dude. Oreos, yeah. They would drink their Oreos and they would get blasted high. We're also going to do a big coverage of last week's debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump that happened after we recorded the podcast, but before the podcast came out. Right. Yeah. Wait.
Yes.
I think so.
It was, I think it was
Thursday, right? Or Tuesday?
I think it was Tuesday.
I think it was Tuesday. I was thinking it was Thursday, Tuesday, and then I was like,
no, it was definitely Tuesday because me and Spencer just sat and watched it.
Yeah. You guys actually watched it.
And I didn't want to, but I did.
Oh,
it was a little
I wanted to
social experiment.
I wanted to, and I couldn't. So we got a big wrap up of that, even though it's pretty much old news at this point, but not to us. So we'll get to that. And then we have some music news. Musicians are just a mess.
They're going off the deep end
right now.
Especially if you're fans of 90s music.
Yeah, that's what it should be. 90s music news.
Yeah, 90s music, not grunge.
With Dave Grohl.
With grunge.
Baby Grunch, Dave Grohl, and then Jane's Addiction band. Pretty much just hurting each other on stage, breaking up live on stage, more or less. So that's a big deal. We have a Carson Cinema Corner that Gavin and I watched a movie together recently that we're going to talk about. And then if there's time, I don't know if I ever even teased this, but I really want to talk about, eventually, it might not be this week, but this documentary about whether Abraham Lincoln was gay or not. That's not a joke. That is a real documentary. And you're probably thinking like it's a hit piece, but it's not really. It's actually quite interesting. So
wasn't it like what was her name?
Laura Loomer.
No, I was thinking of his wife. Wasn't his wife fucking insane too?
Oh, Mary Todd?
Wife? Yeah, I was gonna say Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore, yeah, was his wife. She had that show.
She did. She had that show with Weezer.
Yeah. I don't know if Mary Todd was crazy from.
No, she was crazy after he died. She got people. Yeah, she like got a whole bunch. She did like seances to like bring him back and all. Like it was weird.
I didn't know that.
She went weird.
Wow, that's so weird that someone would go crazy after their husband or partner was shot right in front of them. That's weird. It's weird that someone would go crazy after that. I can't even believe that. And then what you listening to, of course. No next door drama this week. Maybe then I'll return next week. We'll see. But we just have so much to get to this week that I don't have the goddamn time for it. Let's jump right into this. I want to bring my mood up because I was in a good mood, and then this goddamn this soundboard is going to be the death of me. It's just in my head now all day. And he's quiet. See, Gavin gets to have fun, and he can drown me out, and then I just have this. That's as loud as it can go. Don't know why. Don't know why that's as loud as it can go. At least one of us is having fun.
Woohoo!
All right, let's get into it. Let's bring my spirits up. Maybe some sugar will help. Well, first of all, which should we start with?
Sugar. I'm thinking Oreo first.
I'm thinking Oreo.
I'm thinking the Oreo first and then we can wash it down with some Coke Zero.
Oh, I need sugar. You know what I need to go do? I'm not going to do it just yet. I need a cup. No, just a regular cup because this boy's cold right here, baby. I got the bottled version. I also have a pack of cans, which Gavin bought. But what I'm going to do for the finale, because we always do a finale with these like multi-parted taste tests, is I'm going to take the Oreo Coke and dunk the Coke Oreo into the Oreo Coke. Because that's what you do with Oreo. You do a dunker in it. That was my arteries. I like that idea. Let's start with the Oreos first because I need some sugar in me. God damn it, I'm diabetic.
Sugar.
Honey. Here they are. Gavin's got them too.
Mine might be like all kinds of crushed because I put it in the trunk.
That's fine. I got mine. I think I got mine at Target. I want to say. Pretty easy to find out here in LA.
These things are loaded.
Wow, they really load this up. Ooh, right away. Smells good.
Yeah, it does.
I like that smell.
They got Coca-Cola on one side, Oreo on the other. I wish I could show you the smell.
How can we show them the smell? Besties forever, a limited time.
It smells like those Coke candies that you can get. That's what it smells like.
Yeah, but then, yeah, it does. But then it's
like those Coke gummies. Well, I mean like Coca-Cola gummies. I mean, there's probably Coke gummies too. I guess if you want.
Probably Coke gummies.
There's probably Coke gummies.
There's probably Coke gummies.
Goat gummies.
There's probably goat gummies. Let's do this, dude. I'm way too excited. I hope this has Red 40 in it. Here we go.
Oh, for sure.
Coca-Cola Oreos down the hatch.
That might be bad for me.
I'm going the whole thing.
It's definitely just a vanilla Oreo that's dyed red.
Yeah. There's something like crispy in it. Are you getting that? Am I crazy?
Yeah, read the top, dude. It says Coca-Cola with popping candy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wait, I didn't know that. I didn't see. It's in the smallest print ever. I don't even know if the camera's picking that up, so I apologize. So that's the Coke flavor. Mm-hmm. Is the popping candy.
Holy shit, dude. The artificially flavored serving size is 2 cookies.
And
Two
what is that,
cookies
like
is a serving size.
100,000 calories?
Probably.
So the
2 cookies is
oh,
a serving
shit.
size.
I just tried to decream it. So the popping candy looks to be in the cream.
Oh,
What I
it's
can tell,
definitely
I've-
popping in my mouth right now.
I've decreamed. Oh, yeah. I've decreamed it. I'm going just cream. Oh, yeah. That's where the candy is.
Yeah, it is popping in my mouth. Oh, I can hear that. Yeah.
Barely.
I can hear that.
There's not enough. I was wondering what that crisp was. I was so confused. Yeah. The top one, the red one, is just a regular vanilla Oreo. Regular chocolate Oreo. And then the cream is
Popping
where the
candy.
flavor comes in.
All right. I opened up my can.
I will say, maybe a slight letdown,
Yeah, not that good.
but like at the same time, I like the idea because like what they're trying to mimic there is like a Coke being really carbonated. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
They're like trying to mimic the carbonation of it, but the flavor is definitely lacking. It's not much Coke.
It doesn't mix well. Having an Oreo and a chocolate one, or like a vanilla and
Right.
a chocolate one, just does not mix well with Oreo.
Yeah,
It's
that's why
weird.
that's why this collab is so bizarre to me because it's like these aren't two things that make sense together, really.
Yeah, if it was like milk and cookie Oreo cookie, milk and cookies.
That'd be so fucking
That
stupid.
would-
That's just something
Milking.
you want.
milk and cookie Oreos.
I'll take them.
Yeah.
Here it is.
All right, open it up, Carson. I want to smell it so bad.
Let's do a smeller. I'm really excited for this. Ooh, so I have a little story. Well, we got to get to both of our stories.
Yeah, we got it. We got to finish them. Got to finish it.
Let's try it first, and then we'll do our stories. Here we go. Doesn't smell like any. I'm not smelling anything
Does not
different.
smell good. Mine smells like. I don't know.
Mine just smells like Diet Coke. It's Coke Zero too. You can't get it. It's so weird. They're like the sugariest cookie in the world, and then they're like, nah, we'll only do a zero sugar version. What the fuck
Yeah,
is the
we can't-
point of that? Why did they do that?
We can't just do it. We can't. Sucralose.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what the point of this was. I don't know. Here we go though. I'm excited. Let me know when you're ready. I won't sip
I'm
without
ready.
you. Here we go. Gavin's got the hotel cup. I feel like I needed to wash my mouth out first. Because I'm just tasting Oreo. But it's because I just ate Oreos. Let me do a swig. Now I'm thinking we should have done the Coke first. Because now I got all this Oreo crud in my mouth. I don't know. I'm so confused. I need to like chew gum for a second. Maybe that's, I gotta chew gum for like 10 seconds just to get this flavoring out. I can't tell. I'm just tasting Coke. I'm just doing Coke.
It's like. It's got like it's like if you ever had like coffee cola from Fitz's, it's kind of what it tastes like. It doesn't
Coke
taste
used to have
like
Coke coffee. Remember we tried it?
yeah, that's right. No joke, it kind of tastes like that. It kind of just tastes like that. I don't know why.
Hold on, I'm chewing gum. Hold on, I can't talk. I'm chewing gum.
It just tastes like the color brown.
It just tastes
There's
like
no other way to describe it. Like if you were to drink the color brown, it would probably taste like this. Like blue and brown together.
Why am I not tasting?
You have to sniff it first, then you drink it.
I gotta rinse my mouth, dude. I'm so confused. I'm not like tasting anything.
Do you have COVID?
Yeah, but that's not the problem.
Well, I should come over there then. I can help you with it.
Help me out with my COVID.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting confused.
There's a little bit of taste in there. It's not much. It's like a hint of Oreo, if that. Like a hint of chocolate. It's like chocolate Coke.
I guess. I don't know. Did I have a broken one? I don't know. I'm just tasting like bad Coke Zero.
I think
Okay.
Maybe you should go get your cup.
Yeah, let me go get my cup. I'm getting it a little bit now.
At first, it smelled
Very
like feet
faint.
to me. I'm not gonna lie, it smelled like feet to me coming out of the can.
That's weird.
The
Do you have
can is
COVID?
like the can smells great, but then it's like I don't know, like it smells like it smells like Oreos coming out of it. To me, it
'Cause
smells
mine just
directly
smells
like an Oreo.
I'm gonna go get a can too. Maybe I just need a fresh.
But then you put it in a cup, and then it's like
I'm gonna be burping
Nothing.
like crazy, aren't I? Dude, I let out a crazy burp last night. And I was just like laughing by myself for like a minute because it was so stupid. Let me go grab my cup and a can. I'll be right back.
give me. Well, I guess I'll just tell a story. So I had bought these Oreos a week ago, and I didn't, for some reason, I went to Walmart to grab something. And for some reason, I was like, oh, I'll grab the Oreos. The drinks were right there. And I just never grabbed it. I never grabbed. I'm telling the audience the story of how I got this so that I filled the silence there.
That was a good idea.
I just didn't grab the fucking drinks, which was weird. I was just like, why did I not do that? And didn't do that. And so now I had to, excuse me. I walked to Schnucks, then went to Burger King, then went to Walgreens, and then on my way back stopped at the gas station. And none of them had the bottle version. None of them had all that. So I had to get my car, which I did not have because I walked to all these places, across like a 5-lane highway, I think, to get there, to get to the Walgreens. And was very let down by it because it told me online that it was in stock. So at that location.
Oh.
So I was like, that's very unreliable because what it probably is that you have to order online and you can pick it up there,
Right.
much like Walmart.
I'm tasting it now. Sorry to interrupt your story, but I'm definitely tasting it now. I don't know why that bottle is.
It just
weird.
tastes like chocolate Coke.
Mm-hmm. It's super
I don't-
faint.
Yeah, it's like
Super faint.
someone said it's like someone breathed on it, like
Right,
breathed
like
with
LaCroix.
Oreos on it. Yeah, it's like it's fine.
And you know what?
I don't know why they had to package it with a 10-pack of mini ones. But
they just do weird shit. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why they do like in the zero sugar.
all the other ones they had like a tall can, like a tall mini
Right.
can. I don't know.
And I'm a big Coke Zero
Collector.
I'm a big collector. I'm a big Coke Zero drinker. Like that's my cherry Coke Zero is like my favorite zero
Oh,
calorie
it is much
soda.
better cold. I will say that it is much
Okay.
better cold. I let mine sit for a minute. It's much better cold.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's weird. What I was gonna say is like, I like Coke. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. I like Coke Zero. I don't like Diet. Like I will drink Diet Coke, but I think Diet Coke tastes like shit. But like Diet Coke
any diet
drinkers,
soda.
Diet
does
Coke
it.
drinkers are like Coke Zero tastes like shit. It's very weird. I don't get why. But anyways, I like the taste of Coke Zero. I don't like the taste of this. This tastes like Diet Coke to me.
Do you remember Dr. Pepper 10? I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
It was like the soda marketed towards women.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was really weird. Or men. I think it was men.
Well, because that was around the days of like Pepsi Max and Coke had like
Yeah.
a thing that was like
I forgot
Pepsi Max.
Yeah.
Those are the days.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, they still sell Pepsi Max in like certain countries.
Really?
Yeah, like I
Like
think
Canada?
no joke. I think Israel, they still sell it there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I
I
think
did see something about
for some
that.
reason. Okay, I'm gonna do the ultimate test now. I'm gonna do it. It'll probably start. It's probably gonna start popping in the. Popping in the. I gotta get a full one. My throat made a fart noise. That was kind of funny. Here we go, folks. I'm gonna do the ultimate. It's gonna start popping in here. I gotta let it soak for a second because it's gotta get in there. We're doing the ultimate. This is the real thing. So this is the the Oreo Coke and the Coke Oreo. Dunk it in there. Here we go. Got to get it nice and wet. Just tastes like a wet Oreo. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like
Didn't
Coke
really do
Zero
much.
is not gonna add any like sugar to it or anything like that because it
No.
doesn't have any.
It doesn't have any.
Because it doesn't have any.
I will say my drink is sparkling now. It's popping a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, slightly slightly a letdown. Not like the biggest letdown. I guess that's what I expected, but I didn't want what I expected. I wanted over the top flavor. I wanted just a flavorful punch right in my mouth. That's what I was looking for. Gavin's just going through his sound catalog now.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to find that. I was trying to find this, so it's like it wasn't exactly what I wanted.
So I bought. Can you turn that down a little bit too, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I turned it up just so I could put the
Oh.
munching sounds in while you're biting it.
That was funny. I like that.
You're welcome.
I was getting food on Saturday, and there's a Circle K near my apartment. And after I got food, I was like, let me just pop in there and see if I can buy it. Because this was like almost a week after Gavin, or like a few days after Gavin bought his, and I still couldn't find it anywhere. So I was like, let me go check at the Circle K. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, it was there. And I also have tall cans too, which the tall cans look really cool. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I bought it. And then I went up to the counter, and like the guy didn't like say anything to me. He just like kind of checked it out, and he maybe told me how much it was. I couldn't really hear him at all. And then this guy comes up out of nowhere. I didn't even know he was there. And he goes, Coca-Cola, Oreo Coca-Cola. He's like, that tastes like actual Oreos. And I turned to him and I was like, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then I turned back to the guy at the register, and he's just like, he like shakes his head, like so disappointed, which was like, I don't know why.
He was like, this fucker.
He's like, this fucking guy.
I bet that guy, what if it was like a regular and it's like a guy that constantly comes up and he's
Right.
like, but does that actually taste like oranges? Does that orange Fanta taste like oranges?
Does that orange actually taste like an orange?
What? Now tell me this. Grape Fanta? Is that grape?
What does that taste like?
What? Hold on. What does that taste like?
I should have turned to him and been like, what do you fucking think?
Yeah, that would have been the LA response.
Yeah, I guess. The LA response is like, you're not mad, but there's like there's like an undertone of like an annoyance to you.
Yeah, like you're fucking stupid.
Like, yeah, like you don't have time for this person's response. Like my neighbor who I met, like a couple of weeks ago, and it was in the laundry room, and I like went to go to the laundry room and it was full, so I just came back. And as I was walking back, she's like, "Oh, did you need to do laundry?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, I don't know. I said something like, "Are you
Is that
almost
your laundry?"
Yeah, I was like, "Are you done?" or something like that. And then she said something, I didn't really hear her. And then she like was asking another question, and I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Are you done doing laundry? Like, I can wait until later." And she stops and she goes like, "Yeah, I just need to put it in the dryer." And then she was like back to being really nice to me.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh," I was like,
Oh,
"What?"
okay. Sorry.
That was a weird way to respond.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
But like everybody's like that. It's very, very weird. Anyways, though, that was my.
So yeah, that's a solid 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Not very good. Not very bad. Not very good. Just kind of meh. I won't be able to fall asleep tonight, but.
It's probably not that much. It's like 40, especially in that small can too.
How much? How much is in there?
How much can? I think it's usually 40 milligrams.
21 in there.
Oh, right, because it's a small can. Sorry. Maybe
Because it's a small can.
that's just a small can. Yeah. I like to put it on the scale of like either it's going to be really good or really bad. Like really bad could also be a 10 out of 10. Really good could also be a 10 out of 10. So it's like finding that midpoint. And this is bad in like a it should be good way to me.
This is like not a good thing.
It's just meh. Nah, it's fine. Like I'm going to finish them, but I'm not going to be happy about it.
Right. I'm going to loathe drinking it.
I'm going to loathe it, but I'll do it. Let's move on though to the debate. You actually watched it. I did not watch it live. I didn't even really watch like any I watched people watching things and talking about it, but I didn't watch
I watched people watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I did the meta version of it. But I didn't actually watch anything without any commentary of it just cuz I don't know. I literally like watched so many people talking about it that I was like, I got it.
You know what's crazy is I had two friends that were watching it. One friend was 20 minutes behind everybody. I don't know how that happened, but she was 20 minutes behind on her stream. So she would text me something like, again, way after the fact about it. Then I had another friend that I was texting pretty regularly during the beginning of the debate. I was going to say the rotation, the debate. And then she was just like, no, I stopped watching. I had to do dishes. yeah, something like that.
So then you had to stop.
But yeah, so watching it, I did have like a live feed of it. So I was ahead of everybody for a long time. And then somehow I got behind after a commercial break. But yeah, I missed like the first like 10 minutes because Spencer and I were talking. I'm like, I really don't want to fucking watch it for my own mental health reasons. I was like, I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
But then they started. Yeah. So basically, we can get to your points whenever we get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you said it feels like old news already, but
this
is the. Does. It does, which is crazy because there's
especially by the
so
time this comes out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I firmly believe that Kamala had prepared for a long time about this. Allegedly, she had hired a Trump impersonator.
Oh, really?
Allegedly, yeah. And had been coached through this multiple times, right? And I very much believe that Donald Trump winged it. Because he had Laura Loomer on the plane with him on the way there.
Yeah, and
if Laura Loomer is the one prepping you for your debate, you're going to lose. She's like notorious for not being good at talking.
Yeah, but she's got DSLs.
That's true. Donald sucking lips.
There you go. That's a better way to say it. That's pretty funny. We're on a morning radio show now.
Yeah, you got Laura Loomer. She's got those DSLs. That's Donald sucking lips. That's right. I'd take her on my plane for a ride any day.
And there's the money coming in for our show. Yeah, and he also apparently he was training with, maybe it was Tulsi Gabbard?
Yeah, it was Tulsi Gabbard.
And Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
Like,
again, two people who I don't like coincide with like good debate tactics. And not only that, but like Matt Gaetz can like, if you confront Matt Gaetz about anything, he can't handle it. So
yeah, he's just a whiny like hothead. Yeah, and not even a hothead. He's just
the biggest reactionary person there ever was. But yeah. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat is that Kamala would answer the question, and then they'd pass it over to Trump, and then they would never pass it back to Kamala. And that was the theme of the whole thing. They would let Donald Trump go off on these fucking weird ass tangents multiple times. I mean, like literally for the entire debate, it was like Trump would answer a question, Kamala would answer a question, and then Trump would always give a rebuttal, and then Kamala never did.
Right.
Which again was fine because it was like, this dude is going fucking insane. He's literally like, I firmly believe that they were like, I swear to God that they were just like, yeah, we're just going to let him talk. Fuck it. Like, yeah, let's just show people how fucking weird he is. Just like he's off like, you can't just say like, oh, well, like, Joe Biden was incoherent, all this, blah, blah, blah. And then whenever you partner Trump with a normal person, it's like fucking night and day. You know, he's rambling. He's going off on weird tangents. He's talking about nothing related to the question. Lying. Yeah, he did a lot of lying.
And they did a good job of, the commentators did great journalism and would always have something to come back. Not always, but most of the time would have come back to him and be like, actually, there's no proven thing. Like, we'll get to the Haitian immigrant stuff here in a minute, but like, on that front, they were like, there is no proof of this ever happening.
Yeah, and they did do one fact check on Kamala, I believe. But I don't remember what it was, but it was just one, and everybody was like, oh, she only got one, blah, blah, blah. How'd that happen? She was lying, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yes, but again, you can't have these, whenever your candidate is spewing lies on a regular basis, and then the other person gives one lie, and then you're going to complain about the one lie rather than the 18 lies that Trump gave, or 30 lies, or whatever it was. I don't know. It's just it was ridiculous. It was a fucking real. It was really bleak because it was like, holy shit, if he wins, I don't know what will happen. Like, I literally don't, because there we can go into it, but one of the greatest lines that was in this debate was I have concepts of a plan.
Did he really say that?
That's
and
funny. They're like, what's your healthcare plan? And he's like, we really haven't talked about it, but I have concepts of a plan. I have concepts. We've talked about it.
We really haven't talked about it.
Yeah, it was really odd. And I was like, he just said that. And he also, another one that everybody talked about was the illegal immigrants getting transgender operations in jail. Taxpayer dollars going towards that. He mentioned that, not at this debate, but after the debate, he started mentioning that, people are sending their kids to school and then the kids are coming back a different gender. And I thought that was fucking bizarre. But yeah, it was really like, it was very bad for Trump, I will say. But that's not just because like I'm a Kamala supporter, but I mean, like, literally it was like, what the fuck is he talking about? 99% of the time it was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right.
My one question for you, someone who did watch the whole thing, and I've heard this, and I'm kind of formulating my own opinion on it, but I want to see what you think. Did you feel that the commentators or the moderators, whatever you want to call them, were biased towards Kamala, or was it just the fact of that Trump was lying so much that they just kept fact checking?
I don't think they were biased at all. Okay. I will say that, like, I don't think they were biased. They're ABC.
Yeah, because I saw people on both sides saying that, like, the commentators did a great job, but they were kind of biased. Like,
yeah, I think they did. They were probably the best ones that we've seen in like the last like 4 years.
That's good.
Like, they were some of the best. Like, they did try to keep people on track. Keep the two on track, but. Yeah, I think that they did a good job of, giving each candidate time, and Donald Trump, does his thing. So yeah.
I was listening to the Majority Report. They did a wrap up of it, and Emma Vigeland, who's one of the main hosts, or one of the hosts of it, made a good point that I never really thought about that much, and that's that they were saying that. At the beginning, the moderators went straight into a question to Kamala. And apparently Kamala was thinking that they were going to have like opening remarks and she could give a little bit about herself, which makes sense because, like, if you think about it, normal voters, not people like you and I who, keep up with politics, don't really know anything about her. Like, they know that she is Biden's vice president, and that's kind of really about it. Like, the non-politically active people don't know her. They don't know about her. And so it kind of sucked that they didn't really give them a chance for opening remarks to say that. And she was a little shaky on that first question. I think they were saying because they think because of that, because she like kind of veered off from the question to like make it about her opening remarks and then kind of answer the question.
Yeah, she did it a couple times where I feel like they asked her a question and then she would like kind of answer the question, but
Yeah.
then would go off on a tangent like how Trump did, but nowhere near as like
Right. But that's just politics in general. They're always going to make it about what they wanted to talk about.
right.
But you're right, not as
Bad.
insane, batshit
Yeah.
crazy as Trump was, but
So
still kind of.
so
doing
here's
But I thought that was a
some
good
live
point.
some live commentary at the time. I'm going back.
that. In your text.
Donald Trump had claimed that there was no inflation at
Yeah.
all. He
Uh-huh.
said there was no inflation.
Good.
And then he said something about the student loans.
Yep.
He said something about that.
He said that they failed to. They said they were gonna take him away, and then they couldn't even do that. Was
Yeah.
along the lines of what
And
he
it's like-
said.
It's like, yeah, well,
And he called Biden Kamala's boss, which
Yeah.
was like supposed to be like downplaying her. And he kept bringing up Biden. He like couldn't not do it. He brought up Hunter Biden at the end. I heard.
yeah. He also brought up they mentioned something about JD Vance, and he just like didn't have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
It was very odd. And then Kamala said that he goes on these weird like you could tell like during the entire thing that she was like trying to egg him on. She was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
he talks about Hannibal Lecter, these made up characters that
Yeah.
don't exist, like
Which is
like
good.
their beloved friend. And then people leave really early from these rallies because they're so bored
Mm-hmm.
and they're long speeches and they don't want to be there. And then he's like, they are busing in plenty of people. They're busing in people. They're paying people to go there. And
go
I'm pretty sure
Kamala's.
that has been like a claim since like the 60s that they've
Yeah.
done that.
Well, it's
that
just
people
the
that
old
were-
rhetoric. He says that about everything. They're busing. He said that about like any protest that ever happens. He's saying they're busing people in from other
Right.
places for Like it's one of his things, like the Hannibal Lecter, like the windmills, like this. And I was really
shark.
glad. Yeah, the shark, the electric boats.
Yeah.
But I was really glad that she pointed that out because like nobody else is like we've pointed it out, like
Right.
Vic, our good friend Vic Berger, has
the show.
made compilations of Trump, his repeated lines. Like we've known this,
Right.
but I feel like no politician has like
Politician.
said that to him or publicly being like, he says the hits, he says all this weird shit that like he keeps repeating for some reason.
right. Right.
So I was
And
really glad she said that.
She addressed the camera so many times too,
Yeah.
which I think was like,
A big deal.
I think that might have been a big reason as to why people believe that like that they were giving her the questions or whatever, because she was so like confident in addressing the camera.
Yeah, it's because she was trained.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like
Yeah.
if you're trained on what you have to say, then yeah, I would imagine you're going to be good at it.
Because that was what
Then
Biden
he-
flopped at, was like he was unaware of the camera the whole time. So he was just like,
Yeah,
That's how
and
he
then the
was
other
doing
thing was
that.
that Trump was like kept like looking up. He was like, it was very much like
Hmm.
it was weird. He kept making like a looking up at the lights to like stay awake kind of face. Not that I've
Oh.
done that or anything.
yeah.
And then about 30 minutes into the debate, he mentioned Springfield, how they're eating cats. They're eating
Let's
cats.
get into that.
They're eating the cats and the dogs.
Dogs.
And then that's when they stopped it and we're like,
Yes.
that's false. The city manager says that none of that's true. And he's like, but I'm seeing it on the TV. They're saying it.
Which another thing the Majority Report pointed out about that is like, that's such an old man line. But I saw
Yeah.
it on the television.
Yeah. It's so bad. Like, that's so bad. That's such a bad look.
And I want to dig into that specifically. And I forgot to tell you, I have 2 clips I want you to play. That CNN link. Don't play them just yet, but if you want to get them pulled up. Because there's 2 clips. There's the first one that starts playing right away. And then there's one below it that says Springfield Mayor that you'll play. I want you to play after that. So, yeah, he made this crazy claim that I had never even heard of. But, like, somehow the commentators known this has been going on. This has been something that JD has been pushing, and I guess Trump has been pushing on truth. Again,
And there is an update on that
I
as
never
well.
update on.
On the cat lie.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is all about those videos are probably what you're thinking. I don't know if you, unless you're talking about
No,
something
I was gonna.
else, but
What the update is on the cat videos is that like he said like, oh, I had to make it up so that people would actually pay
Yeah.
attention to it.
right, and that's
Is
kind
that
of
what
what
this clip is?
yeah, more or less. But so he made this baseless claim about Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, eating cats and dogs. It's not true. Where it came from was a video of some person who wasn't even of Haitian descent. They are like, it's proof that they had been, they've been voting for the last 4 years. They didn't just come to America. It was a video of them eating a cat, but again, they weren't Haitian. It wasn't even in Springfield. Like all of this stuff, like it's just like this whole thing that's made up. And apparently this all goes back to, I don't know if you knew this. I feel like you might have told me this, but I can't remember. That this all goes back to this neo-Nazi guy who's in the right-wing sphere, of course, who like started peddling this rumor that these Haitian immigrants are coming into Ohio and eating cats and dogs. Like that's where they got it from, is this literal neo-Nazi guy spouting about this stuff.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, that's a thing, and there's a video of him talking about it. It's, somewhere, I can't remember where, but that's where it all comes from. And then they were getting that and then posting those videos on their social medias and talking about it. And then Trump goes out on, news to millions of people watching and just flat out says it, which is crazy. And then now we were talking the other day on Discord. Now it's like what Trump says to the Republicans is scripture, and especially to the influencers, the commentators, whoever, because they just take that and they're like, yeah, we've known this all along. And it's like,
and as soon as he says it, it's fact. It has never been said before. No one's ever brought this up.
Right.
No one's ever fact checked it. No one, whatever he says always goes.
It's always right, no matter what.
Every time.
Yeah. And so just crazy. And it's, it's all just based in race. It's racist.
It's literally just racist. Yeah,
it's literally just racist. It's crazy. It came out of nowhere. So CNN had JD Vance on a few days ago. This was yesterday when it came, or I think it was, it says in the clip when it was.
So the mayor of Springfield, Ohio.
I believe it was yesterday. So Gavin's going to pull this clip and we'll watch it. So this is JD Vance on CNN. They ask him about this, and then here is his response, and then we'll watch the response from the mayor of Springfield.
So the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, Rob Rue, said, quote, all these federal politicians that have negatively spun our city, they need to know they're hurting our city, and it was their words that did it. Before Donald Trump talked about eating dogs and cats on a debate stage, it was you, Senator, who first elevated this baseless rumor. These are your constituents. So why are you putting them at risk by continuing to spread claims about Haitian immigrants, despite officials in your state saying that there's no evidence and pleading for you to stop?
Well, Dana, first of all, what's putting the residents of Springfield at risk, which was a town completely ignored by the American media until Donald Trump and I started surfacing some of these concerns, is that they can't afford housing, they can't afford health care. The schools have been overwhelmed, the hospitals have been overwhelmed, and they're overwhelmed because Kamala Harris allowed 20,000 Haitian migrants to get dropped into a small Ohio town of about 40,000 people, and it's completely overwhelmed the services. Now, you ask, why have I talked about some of the things that I've been talking about? Let me just say this. My constituents have brought approximately a dozen separate concerns to me. 10 of them are verifiable and confirmable, and a couple of them I talk about because my constituents are telling me firsthand that they're seeing these things. So I have two options, Dana. I can ignore them, which is what the American media has done for years to this community, or I can actually talk about what people are telling me. And of course, many of the things that the media says are completely baseless have since been confirmed. For example, I was told, Dana, that by the American media that it was baseless that migrants were capturing the geese from the local park pond and eating them. And yet there are 911 calls from well before this ever became a viral sensation of people complaining about that exact thing happening. So my attitude is listen to my constituents. Sometimes they're going to say things that people don't like, but they're saying things that people don't like because their town has been overwhelmed, and it's my job to try to fight for them and to protect them. Kamala Harris opened the border, and now these people are suffering. That's what I'm focused on, Dana.
Senator, I have to go through several things that you just said. First of all, the Clark County Sheriff and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources reviewed 11 months of 911 calls. They only identified 2 instances of people alleging Haitians were taking geese out of parks. They found 0 evidence to substantiate those claims. Also, other evidence that you have talked about, even you've retweeted, alleged evidence, are unsourced social media videos from a different city, apparently no connection to
so
Haitians.
that's
and this is from a
exactly what I said. So there's so much to unpack.
Okay, so
let him cook.
My question is what? Okay, so if you're worried about these things being overrun by these immigrants, right?
That first of all, that Kamala Harris let in.
Where is Ohio on the map?
And when did Kamala Harris do that? Isn't Biden in charge? I thought that was her boss.
Yeah, well, that's, trust me. Anyway, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But if you have all these issues going on with these, no joke, government, again, let me remind you, government funded programs like hospitals, like public schools. Would you not propose legislation to bring more resources to those, to allow people the resources that they don't have anymore because so many people came in?
Well, no, we just need to stop letting
quote,
Kamala needs to stop letting migrants in. Apparently, that should do the trick.
Why? It's so odd because even the Miami Heat made a statement about this. The Miami Heat made a statement about the migrant stuff that these are basically claims, and we have all love between Haitians and the Miami Heat, basically.
Why did they feel like they needed to make?
I don't know, and everybody was like, "This is the most I've seen out of anybody in politics." That they're not even involved in politics.
So it was funny. Before we move on to that, in this we won't watch the whole thing. I just want to watch the beginning of it. When I watched that last night, I literally almost fell out of my chair when she was like, actually, there's no proof of that. They looked through the calls. There's no evidence of any of this happening.
Any of it.
It was just you could even see her during it. Someone just came over and gave her a note that had the fact checking info on it. So that was great. I mean, and then JD Vance just dead eyes, just smiling to camera is the scariest looking thing I've ever seen. But yeah, so then they had on the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, to talk about this, and it's pretty much the same thing, but it's good to hear it from his own words.
The boy.
My constituents have brought approximately a dozen separate concerns to me. 10 of them are verifiable and confirmable, and a couple of them I talk about
last episode.
This week on, telling me firsthand that they're seeing these things.
Mayor Rue, they're your constituents as well, and you live in the community. Do you have any confirmed reports of Haitian migrants eating dogs and cats in Springfield?
We do not. And
All right.
All right, wrap it up. Next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
I think you highlighted earlier on one of your interviews that, the Sheriff's Department did go back through the last 11 months, and we just have no verifiable claim that this has actually happened. We've had a complaint, it was looked into, and then we couldn't they couldn't call back or reach the person that made the complaint. It would be helpful. We are boots on the ground. We are here with our constituents. The governor of the state of Ohio, Mike DeWine, recognizes and trusts the local officials to share the proper
so I mean that's
information
pretty much all we needed to watch. He's literally just repeating everything she had because it was the facts. That's coming straight from the mayor of Springfield. Again, I mean, he even brought up the governor of Ohio saying the same thing. So it's not only just in Springfield where they decided to put that on, but it was also the whole state was like, this is not proven at all. It's not real. It's just literally just racist lies again. And it's I don't know. I don't have any proof of this, obviously, but it's I wonder when those calls started because it could be very possible that those calls, because I don't know when this neo-Nazi started spreading this lie to 4chan, to wherever he goes to speak. I don't even know what his fucking name is.
The Telegram Q channel or whatever.
Exactly. Shit like that, where he started spreading it. I have a feeling, again, this is based on nothing at all. It's just an opinion, or it's just a feeling.
Speculation.
that that one call or whatever it was, 2 calls, that they couldn't even reach back out to the person who made the call claiming that they were taking geese from the pond. I have a feeling that those calls probably started after this guy was like, Haitian, like, look at this video of this Haitian migrant killing their cat. And they're also like watch out for other animals. And then they probably saw someone getting near a goose or something, and then they made a baseless call. Like, there
was a picture of a black guy carrying a goose.
Yeah, exactly.
That was what was surfacing, and people were like, "See, look,
right."
See?
And it's like they're not Haitian. You're being racially profiling someone who's not even Haitian. Like, what are you doing?
Background.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really weird.
Crazy. So it's just crazy. So I actually don't. What is this? Are you able to pull up anything about this update from JD Vance? I just saw things about it where he said that he like made it up or whatever. I saw it. Maybe it was even here on CNN because I wanted to talk about that. I honestly just don't know much about it. I saw it show up on your like sidebar thing. Did you see that on that CNN page?
Yeah,
it's not showing up.
Here's our second favorite is NBC.
Oh yeah, we can do NBC.
Third favorite, I guess.
Yeah, because it's not showing up on mine for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, Trump campaign and JD. Oh, are you showing me something? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, this is he's doubling down on it.
Argument about immigration without making those claims, Senator. Why not just make an argument about immigration? Why do you have to delve into repeating these baseless claims that, again, Senator, have been repeated by neo-Nazis?
Started by them.
Kristen, I hear you saying that they're baseless, but I'm not repeating them because I invented them out of thin air. I'm repeating them because my constituents are saying these things are happening. I mean,
but there's no
yesterday,
evidence.
A video came out of a migrant 30 miles away eating a cat. Clearly, these rumors are out there because constituents are seeing it with their own eyes, and some of them are talking about it. Now, look, we also have to talk about and should primarily talk about the effects that this has had on car insurance rates, on disease rates. Those are the things that I'm spending 95% of my time talking about, Kristen. But again, the media didn't care about this story until we started sharing the 911 call about the geese. That is an indictment of the American media. But the real problem here, Kristen, let me just finish this point, is Kamala Harris opened the border with no...
I thought it would be a little bit more, but he did double down on it again. But there was a line he said in a different interview. What you said, it was on the sidebar here?
Yeah, because I'm seeing, so this is from CNN. Trump campaign and JD Vance promote false, well, this is the same thing. I thought I saw something where it said, oh, here we go. Vance says false claim he spread against Haitian migrants may not be true, but urges followers to keep posting, quote, cat memes. Here's a video. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, you literally pulled it up.
Even in the toxic political climate of our times, this is a wild claim. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance, who has railed about a large influx of Haitian immigrants into the rather middle-sized town of Springfield, Ohio, posted, reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. And this claim, which focuses on kittens and ducks, has exploded in the far-right echo chamber, amplified by the Trump campaign.
So I don't think this isn't exactly what I was looking for either.
Yeah. So, well, keep going because maybe there's something at the end of that. Because, they're saying that's...
Even in the toxic political climate of our times, this is a wild claim.
I can't.
Republican vice presidential candidate, people have said, but to be clear, this allegation against these immigrants is patently false. A far-right fever dream which could easily prey upon. Clarify that there have been no credible verified instances of immigrants engaging in illegal activities, traffic. Yet, when CNN asked Vance's office,
why are they saying this if he's
pushing
not
such a
maybe he's about to say it.
Yeah, he's about to say it.
Blatant lie. They said Senator Vance has received a high volume of calls and emails over the past.
Okay, same thing.
So why are they saying that he may not be true? But where are they getting that from? Because that's not the first time I've seen it. But I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I can't find
confirmation of that.
Well,
who doesn't give a?
That's a good picture right here.
Stuff work. So yesterday, and it's supposed in a short. Don't let the crybabies in the media, this fellow patriots keep. Oh, well, the Times reported that the city estimated that Sorry, I'm just trying to find this because I've been seeing this, but
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any proof of that.
Well, maybe the media is making it up, right?
Yeah, because he said in a follow-up,
Who knows?
I'm seeing Vance appear to be referring to the incident, the times for if you're a reporter or an activist who didn't give a shit about these suffering Americans till yesterday, I have some advice. Spare your outrage for your fellow citizens suffering under Kamala Harris policies. Be outraged at yourself for letting this happen, he continued. In a follow-up post, Vance said, in short, don't let crybabies in the media dissuade you, fellow patriots. Keep the cat memes flowing.
Hell yeah.
So that was what he said. They're spinning this a bit to make it sound like he said it wasn't true. He's just saying that, like, all he's saying and what he said a million times in every single one of those clips was his constituents. I love that he loves that word. His constituents are telling him this, and so that's why
dozens of phone calls.
So he's like, "This is what my constituents." He's pretty much saying, like, I don't know if this is true, but this is what people who I know are telling me.
Right.
And then
People
he's
are telling
like,
me to say this.
Yeah. So that's the long and short of it. Sorry that went on too long. I just had to make sure we clear that up before we moved on from.
So then Taylor Swift was like literally 6 minutes. I think it was literally like 6 or 7 minutes after like the debate. She had this already posted.
Yes.
Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time. I was recently made aware of that AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought to me the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election.
Which, first of all, we just need to say that we finally got our closure on the AI Taylor Swift thing, which first of all, I didn't think we'd ever hear anything about. I thought it would be like
it was going to be a dead subject.
Yeah, I thought it'd be like a message from someone who knows Taylor Swift that was like, she's aware of it. But to actually, when I because you reposted that, and I looked at it and I was like, oh shit, she talked about the AI thing. Because we made that point the other week where I was like, did you ever hear anything more about that? And you're like, no. And then I was like, oh, well, we probably never will. But to hear it from her was was cool. Crazy. I did not expect to read that.
I was not expecting that either. Not at all.
Yeah, that's crazy that she had that ready to. She must have just like written that up, and then she was like, "Oh, let's just do it with a cat." Like, I don't know, the cat thing seems so random that it had to do with the fact that he said they're eating cats and dogs.
Well, there's that, and also the fact that they called them like crazy cat ladies.
Who did?
That was what Trump called them, or JD called them, is that they're crazy cat ladies.
Swifties?
That's why. No, just women who childless. This is what JD Vance said. He's that like childless women are just crazy cat ladies.
I didn't know that.
And so she signed it.
That.
Childless cat lady.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's why. I thought it was just like. I thought it was really weird. I was like, that's kind of weird. I thought it was just out of nowhere.
There was a reason.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I don't remember him saying that out of all the things that I know he said.
It was a podcast claim, I think, from a few years ago, where he's just really weird about women who don't have kids.
Sounds about
He's really weird about them. Really weird.
That's a big deal now. Trad families for them. That's like they notice that works, so they keep that going now. That's like a big thing for them is, traditional families needing a family. The point of life is to have kids. I mean, that's a Harrison Butker. That's his whole thing with that graduation speech.
It is his whole thing, yeah.
So
then,
what they like.
What was this, yesterday? Was it yesterday?
That the assassination attempt part 2?
Yeah, the assassination attempt part 2?
This one was a massive failure by that guy. But it was also another massive failure by there's the security and the Secret Service again, because this guy was there for even longer. So what I know is there was a guy who was outside of Mar-a-Lago, outside of the golf course for upwards of 12 hours, hanging out in the bushes for 12 hours they found like food containers where he was hanging out.
Stopped at the gas station.
And how they spotted him is they were like, Trump was like 500 yards away from where this guy was stationed. And they just saw his sniper barrel poking out of a bush. And then that's when they started firing at him and he ran. So it was just like again, like assassination attempts aren't funny, or they're obviously like I'm not saying failure as in like darn it, he didn't get him, because I would never say that. I just mean failure as in like this was just like the weirdest situation ever. Like it was just
odd.
Yeah, just very odd. And really, again, the failure isn't on the fact that he wasn't able to do it. It was the fact that, again, they let this slip through like right after the first attempt happened.
Right.
Like crazy that this happened again. Like and just thank God he didn't get any closer, Thank God that they noticed it before Trump was anywhere near this guy.
Right.
So anyways, that happened. They caught him. He just seems like a lunatic. There's lunatics everywhere. Like, they're saying that he's a, Kamala supporting, like Trump blamed Kamala and Biden for him. And it's like, it's just politics in general. There's going to be nuts everywhere.
Well, here's a tweet from Elon Musk. Here's another nut job.
Yeah. Then Elon follows up.
He says, and no one is even trying to assassinate Biden/Kamala, thinking emoji.
And then he deleted it.
In reply to Doge designer, why they want to kill Donald Trump.
Interesting.
Yes.
Such a good point to put out there, Elon. I'm so glad you put that thought into your great followers' heads.
Yes, yep.
And then he deleted that shortly after. But just like an insane, that's insane. You don't say this stuff. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's idiot. That's about as bad as it gets. And that's the thing is that Trump never. That's the thing is that Biden and Kamala never incited violence on Trump.
No, they were so upset about it.
They're nice about it.
Yes, the way you should react. Like if anybody was up in arms about what Kyle Gass said from Tenacious D on stage, which was a joke from a comedian.
Would you be surprised?
And then you have Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, literally inciting violence, not a comedian, by the way, not funny at all, in fact, saying, but nobody ever goes after these two people. That is,
and there have been multiple assassination
jail
attempts on
you need to.
That's bad.
That's grounds for arresting this person.
Yeah, this person is terrorizing.
That's that is literally
incitement of violence.
Should result in jail time. That's not I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
It's not.
People have been put in jail for tweeting things for tweeting out things along the lines of that.
Right.
And usually it's the more really in-depth, full manifesto. But sometimes people will come visit your home if you tweet. If I went on Twitter and tweeted out something along the lines of, I'm going to assassinate the president, something like that. If I tweeted that out, no joke, I would probably have someone show up to my
Department of Homeland
residence.
Security would come knock on your door.
Yeah, and they maybe wouldn't arrest me, but they would be like, do not ever speak about that ever again. Do not ever do that. That's not a joke. That would
there are people
happen.
I've seen on Twitter where they're like, this looks a lot worse on paper, guys.
Right.
They're like, I'm going to bomb the White House.
Yeah. And again, he didn't explicitly say that, but that is inciting it. And then I saw that media outlets were reaching out to the Secret Service for comment on that, and they're like, we're aware of it, but obviously we can't disclose anything about if we're doing anything about it. We are aware of it,
right?
Which thank God they're aware of it. Hopefully they actually
I would
do
hope
something.
So.
You would hope so, but they literally had a sniper on a roof that shot at Trump that they hadn't.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't do anything about, even though they were made aware of it. But whatever, Hopefully it won't happen again. We got 2 times now. Crazy, just insane, just so much insanity.
The world is not being made any better by having people incite violence on another person.
No,
I will say that much.
No, not even a little bit. Moving on from the debate, though, I think that's everything.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention about the Haitian stuff is that they had to cancel school 2 days in a row at the end of the week because of the bomb threats that were being called in on every school in the district.
Yep.
in
Yep.
Springfield School District, which is just, again, more incitement of violence. Congratulations. And they also had a Proud Boy march there on Saturday or something like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, all the off-duty cops, obviously, they
of
couldn't
course,
have, they
Of
couldn't. They don't.
course.
Some people don't work on the weekends.
Yeah, the ones that
But-
are getting the calls about the geese and the ducks
right,
going away.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think CNN also brought that up to JD, and he, it's just the usual politician response of, "We are so sorry that we cannot believe that has happened. That is," and they
we
more
never
or
meant
less,
to.
Yeah, they don't even say that. They're like they deter it to something else. They're like, we are heartbroken to hear that this is happening, and our constituents or whatever. So, but yeah, I mean that was crazy
What
when
anyone
you
think of the constituents.
That was crazy when you told me about that, because just
They had
again,
40 bomb threats. Like they had like so many.
Inciting violence from high.
Lips of TikTok is like peak at doing that. She is really good at doing that.
Oh, inciting violence.
Yeah,
just making up baseless claims. Crazy shit. Hey, you want to hear some more crazy shit? Let's get into the music news. I say let's do it like this, because we'll tag team it, because I actually might know. I don't know. We'll tag team this one. I think we know both. We both know a little bit about each, but I know your favorite band is Jane's Addiction, so I can let you lead the charge on that one.
Yeah, right.
And Nirvana is one of my favorite bands. Maybe not Foo. I guess you're probably a bigger Foo Fighters fan than I am. Honestly.
Yeah, I really like the Foo Fighters.
But I'm
a closeted Foo Fighters fan. I think that I've addressed that on the show.
You can be outward. It's fine. Not anymore though. So I'll do this. Dave Grohl took to Instagram, which I didn't even know Dave Grohl had an Instagram. I didn't know by the way.
I mean, neither.
Dave's True Stories.
Didn't know that.
Okay. So from what I can tell, it's not like a personal Instagram. It's like an Instagram for his book, is what I'm seeing.
Oh, so maybe he's doing something on the book.
Yeah, it's like an Instagram page for the book, The Storyteller.
Oh.
Dave Grohl, The Storyteller. Okay. Damn, that just ropes you in, doesn't it? So he or whoever took to Instagram. It's from him. It's quoted from him.
It's a statement.
It's a statement. Thank you. That says, "I've recently become the father of a new baby daughter born outside of my marriage. I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children, and I'm doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. We are grateful for your consideration toward all the children involved as we move forward together." So,
and it's really bad because his daughter, one of his daughters, had a TikTok that was going viral.
Oh, I don't know about
and
this.
She had to delete her entire account.
Oh,
yeah. She
just
deleted
because
every
people
social.
were
Yeah.
Just like a random.
She deleted
TikTok
it right
that went
before
viral?
This came out. Yeah.
Oh, it was just a random TikTok that went viral, like nothing related to this. Okay.
Nothing related to this.
That makes sense. First I was like, oh, like that's good that he just flat out said it, you know,
rather than being like, I heard.
Yeah, because then what he was doing is just getting ahead of the media finding out, because
just like RFK.
Right, because only so many people, Drake, were able to keep certain things like this under wraps for a while, and eventually it would come out, and then it would just look worse that you didn't say something about it. So on that I give him props for going out there and saying, and obviously don't give him props for what he did. And I kind of read into it a little bit, and this could be it's conspiracy stuff, but apparently it's pretty well known that Dave Grohl is not very faithful.
Yeah, he cheated on his last wife in 2003.
Yep. And has had other instances, and
he's a touring band guy. What do you expect?
Yeah,
he's bringing back the 80s.
It's the tour life. It's fine. You can
XOXO tour life.
You can have sex with whoever you want if you're on tour. It
doesn't count.
That's why I really want to go on tour.
I've got to get laid.
I gotta go on tour. God damn it! I need to go on some sort of tour. Yeah, it was just I don't really. It was bizarre. And then there was a post that was apparently from the baby mama, but then that turned out to be fake. but it was like
Yeah.
a whole account, and it was like when I was reading it, it was like I was reading it from a news source that was posting it as real. And it's like, it's really bizarre. Like if you want to go read that, it's like super weird.
I'm not sure I do.
Yeah. It's like,
This this took a lot out of me last week. All right.
yeah, it's okay. I get it. You're recovering. It was like, she's got the Grohl eyes
6 days
and
ago,
all this
sorry.
stuff. And it was like,
what the fuck?
Yeah. It was like,
Jesus.
It was making it sound like that she was in love with Dave Grohl. Like, it was weird.
That's bizarre.
And then they were saying that she was 20. Like we don't know the age or the name, but it was like saying that she was 20 years old, and I was like,
yeah,
she's 20.
There were people
what
that
the
were
fuck?
Yeah, there were people that were saying that, but
there's no
just rumor,
proof of
hearsay.
Yeah,
no,
that's all hearsay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know anything else you wanted to
No, it was just
that?
it was shocking whenever someone was like, did you see what Dave Grohl posted? I'm like, what did Dave Grohl post? I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, that's. I mean, and again, like you said, like I gave him props for getting ahead of the curve, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Very weird.
Yeah, I'm curious to know how his family's going to recover from that, because he has like I think 2 kids.
Yeah, so there was a again, this is like TMZ type shit. I think it was the New York Post that I read this from. That like an inside source, like a constituent of Dave Grohl's wife, said that Dave Grohl's wife somewhat recently was complaining that Dave was mad at her for being flirtatious with her tennis coach or something. Along those lines. It's all rumor. So it's
that's Hollywood living.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's been said from his wife or anybody specifically. It was like, this is what our constituents heard.
This is what our friends said.
But yeah, I mean, moving on. You tackle this Jane's Addiction thing.
Yeah. So I woke up. I think was it? I think I woke up Saturday. When did this come out? I woke up Sunday.
I think it was Saturday.
Yeah, I woke up Sunday morning and my dad was like, did you see what happened to the Jane's Addiction band? And I'm like, what happened with the Jane's Addiction band? And he's like, the lead singer attacked the bassist or what guitarist. And I'm like, what the fuck? So here's a clip. I'm just gonna play it because it's really weird. Like it's really surreal to watch, because it's like Jane's Addiction already just kind of has like that vibe of like, you know, kind of mean. Like these people like have just kind of like that tension. Like I think they even said like he kind of gets in this mood every time they play, so that he can like you know, give a good show, because like every time they sing it is kind of like it's kind of like Rage Against the Machine, I guess. It's not really exactly like that, but they definitely get into a mood.
I've always thought of Jane's Addiction as more. I thought they were more like laid back, like heroin. Music.
No, I don't. No.
Okay. I don't know. I am not a Jane's Addiction fan.
They're like higher energy. I don't want to play the audio because
yeah,
it's just noise.
It's noise, yeah.
But like he started getting really frustrated at someone in the crowd.
Yeah,
and then started like going at the. But yeah, basically it's just like he started angrily grunting and then said "fuck you" and then like he like went at him.
Yeah, this yeah. The story is that like apparently this has been building up for a while, that like his wife or girlfriend,
I don't know,
his wife or girlfriend, whoever responded, and that's from the band, which we'll talk about in a minute. Did you see this yet? Did you see that?
I did see this.
Okay.
Yeah.
His wife or girlfriend or whatever, I think it's his wife, took to Instagram like immediately after.
Yeah.
And was like,
right after.
you know, blaming, you know, throwing everybody under the bus, of course.
Yeah.
And apparently Perry, the singer, like has been complaining at every show that he can't hear himself over the musicians, but then at the same time she's also like, he's been dealing with like a sore throat at every single show. Oh, because she said he's been dealing with a sore throat at every show because he's screaming over the musicians. And it's like, do you guys sound check? Maybe they should sound check every show if that's the case. And it's like, it's
all just like, again, it's like conspiracy where they're trying to conspire against him. They're trying to kick him out of the band.
That's what it sounds like. And it's like, maybe get this guy like, and no joke, get this guy like a mental health check if he's like, if he's schizophrenic levels of like thinking that they're against him.
Like paranoid, like just super paranoid about stuff.
And then what she said happened is that the people in the front row were yelling at him that they can't hear him. And then so he started cursing at them and then took it out on the guitar player.
Yeah.
And then she also mentioned that like the other band members like held him down and punched him in the stomach. And like
yeah.
This is the craziest. Like,
this is the messiest like
it's
week
so
in
weird.
90s grunge.
Yeah.
You know, circles.
It's such a mess, but her claims were crazy. Again, go look at that. We don't need to read verbatim, but like just saying the craziest shit ever. And who knows, maybe it's true. I don't know. It just sounds crazy. But then today, literally 11 hours ago, Dave Navarro, who was the one that got attacked, and the rest of the band members put out this statement, which Gavin, if you want to
due to a continuing pattern of behavior and the mental health difficulties of our singer Perry Farrell, we have come to the conclusion that we have no choice but to discontinue the current U.S. tour. Our concern for his personal health and safety as well as our own has left us no alternative. We hope that he will find the help he needs. We deeply regret that we are not able to come through for all of our fans who have already bought tickets. We can see no solution that would either ensure a safe environment on stage or reliably allow us to deliver a great performance on a nightly basis. Our hearts are broken. Dave, Eric, and Steven.
Which is good. I mean, that was a really good way. They weren't, like throwing anybody under the bus like his wife was. They were genuinely like, and I believe it. Like they genuinely sound like they care for him. They want him to get help, but they're also like, we do not feel safe on stage.
Yeah.
Against
if he's just going to beat everybody up on stage. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I get it. And like, sorry if any of my commentary on it sounds rude about, he needs to get a mental health check, but like, it's coming from a genuine place, and it sounds like I'm not the only one who feels that way.
The slang term today is crashing out. He had to crash out on stage.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like it's from years of touring. He's old,
probably tired.
You
know what I mean? Like
he thinks like he
probably can't hear just from playing loud music all the time.
Exactly. And his voice is going. It's just shit that happens because he sings at this register.
Yeah.
Anybody's voice would go out trying to sing that high.
I know mine would.
So it's just crazy. I don't like Jason Addiction. not a fan.
That's fine. Yeah.
I do like him. I like some his other band that he's the lead singer of, Porno for Pyros. Some of their songs are
I forgot
decent.
About that.
But that's about it.
That's that.
Let's save Was Abraham Lincoln Gay for another time. Again, it's pretty evergreen. It's honestly pretty quick, but we'll just save it for another time because I really want to dig into another Carson Cinema Corner. I've just been movie obsessed recently, and now that we've discovered that we can watch movies on Discord together has really changed the game because it gives us a time for us to hang out and like joke around and like, we've been doing that with video games a lot, but I think
for like the last like year and a half. Almost.
Yeah. But like that's not always the most enjoyable, and then like sometimes we like to switch it up. So we've watched 3 movies together now.
Yeah,
Beetlejuice.
We watched Fantastic Planet,
which was a bust. Cool, cool.
Yeah,
but
neat.
Not the movie we should have watched. And then
finally, Master of Disguise,
which was maybe the greatest watch along we've done so far. That was
like peak, and we'll get into that.
Oh man, it was.
We'll get into that because, so we start. What did we start out with?
What do you mean?
What movie did we start? Like we started watching with Beetlejuice. That's right, and then we went to
Fantastic.
We watched Fantastic Planet, which was kind of like a 70s like psychedelic French film from Cannes.
Yeah.
In 1973. I think it was visually stunning. The story was all right, but it stuck with me for like all the wrong reasons because I was just like, it was very much all of the animations were very much like a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Yeah.
That was one thing I realized about halfway through. The music was incredible.
So
the music was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It was just a chore to read all the French.
Yeah.
Because it was a French film. And there was no like subs or there was no like dubs. So I was like, well,
which sucked.
Kind of really wish we had a dub because then I could like chill out. But the entire time I'm like, okay, I think I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't like zone out while I was watching it. But
right.
Then we watched Master of Disguise, which I'm actually really glad we did because that one was another one that stuck with me because I was like, if I had watched that, if I was like 15 years younger, I would have fucking loved that movie. Oh my God. I probably would have watched that movie on repeat.
I don't know if I would have. I think if I had to, would have had to been really young to watch it.
Because I watched some really bad movies as a kid, and I was like, these movies are really good. And then then I watched them again as an adult. And I'm like, this isn't that good.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know, man.
Movie.
Like, I can still watch some of those like bad comedy movies now and get enjoyment out of it. Maybe it's a nostalgia thing, but this one I couldn't get anything out of it. As far as like the humor. The
fact that Dana Carvey is 47 years old when this filming of this movie was, we did the math. He looks every bit of 47. It looks like he had an angioplasty where they like blow a balloon up in your artery to like unclog it. So like he like looked, he had like, it was like he was out of the limelight for a while and then came back with this.
Yeah.
And no joke, it was every bit of like, it was like if you took, it would be like if me and you created a movie and it was only jokes that we found funny and no one else. Yeah. And it was like if someone just kept telling him he's funny and then he just kept going with it. They're like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And he's like, really, and what if I kept saying turtle and Turtley Club? What if I started doing that? I think that would be really funny.
I made it obvious that I'm a turtle. And then we'll take those inside jokes. And then whenever you say fuck words or things that you can't, we're like, no, it's PG. You do that, but make it for children.
Right.
Is what it was. It's like, take your inside jokes that everybody here in the production room thinks are really funny and make them for kids.
And you can't curse and you can't make any innuendos. Like the production, like the studio said no cursing and like no, they said poo jokes were in, but no innuendos at all.
You know what I just realized? Because I was like, make it for kids. I actually take that back. Because it's weird, because it's like you were
There's
saying.
There's so many references in this that would not be prevalent to 9-year-old kids.
It's like they wanted to, and they literally wanted to make like a movie where they're making sexual innuendos, like more of a PG-13 movie.
Mission Impossible parody?
It's supposed to be like an R-rated Mission Impossible parody or like PG-13 or something.
Right.
And it's like they took that idea and then they were like, no, I want you to make it PG. So it's like they made like a movie for adults, a PG movie for adults, which doesn't work. Like that's not what you're supposed to do. And I think that's why it sucks so bad. It's like a movie for adults that has like no adult humor.
Yeah, it's every bit of a kid's movie, but
it's like not for kids.
But not for kids. Yeah. It's so weird.
Besides the fart jokes.
Besides the fart goats. Fart goats. He wanted to do. We were reading the trivia on IMDb about this because it was fucking puzzling.
So
it was just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, what is this? Like, why did they make this? Like, why was this happening? So we looked up because I kept saying like, oh, he learned about 9/11 in the turtle suit, which is not true.
Yeah, but
I
was gonna say we need to point that out because it's like we really watched that movie at a perfect time with the week of 9/11.
Right. Think about that. Yeah,
because. Yeah, like you said, you had thought that they had shot that Turtle Club scene
because that has been an internet rumor for years,
and that's been disbarred because they started shooting
after 9/11,
23 days after 9/11.
Yeah,
which is crazy because like no production, every production was halted during that time.
Yeah. And then they were probably the first ones to restart. And then the first scene they filmed outside of it was the Turtle Club scene.
Yeah. And the quote was like...
insane.
Yeah. The quote was like, we just felt so silly shooting that during a time when we were all in terror. And it's like, that's not what you say. We felt so silly shooting the scene after we...
just felt weird.
Just went back to war with Iraq. We felt so silly about it.
Afghanistan, that was weird.
Yeah. Same thing. Same difference.
But like it was just an astounding piece of art because he was talking like it wasn't even like I don't even think it was. I think it was supposed to be funny, but like it wasn't. Like he was talking like this fake Italian accent.
Yeah, we should.
What do you mean I can't talk like this?
It was like, we really like your Italian accent. That's really funny.
Yeah. What if you made a whole character and his name is Pistachio?
Which I thought that part was funny.
I was like,
why is his name Pistachio?
Yeah, why is his name Pistachio?
But then I think you were leading up to say that one of the trivia facts is that he wanted to do it. there's a scene where he's Al Pacino for he does everything for way too long. It's never like he does no comedic timing whatsoever.
Yeah, it's never.
But he wanted to do the Al Pacino scene for like what 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's extra 6 minutes than what it already was, and it was already like 5 minutes long.
And again, like, and the thing that we pointed out is like,
it's not even like
he's not good at impressions.
It's weird.
Nobody as far as I know. Again, I wasn't a '90s kid like you are.
Right.
No, I don't think anybody that I've ever heard talks about Dana Carvey as a good impressionist.
No, I've never heard that.
Like, he's not a known impressionist to my understanding. Maybe he is. And that was, I think even proven true in the IMDb, I always mix that up, trivia facts, where they were like, the scene where he plays George W. Bush was added in because he saw Will Ferrell playing George W. Bush on SNL, and he was like, oh, I want to do that too.
Yeah, and he had done one in the 70s for HW.
Oh, Dana did.
Dana did in 1975. They said he did one.
Yeah. So maybe he was. Like, I think of like Mike Myers as an impressionist, but I don't really think of, I don't know, and again, maybe I'm just dumb, but I don't know any impressions that Dana Carvey has done that are good. Like, he did good in Wayne's World, but he's playing a character. Keanu Reeves did a good job of playing Ted in Bill and Ted, but he's not an impressionist. He's playing a character. It's different.
Right. It's weird. Yeah, it was just like, why did he feel the need to make this? And it ended up being that he had like 2 9-year-old kids who he later discovered like he made that for them, and that was the whole reason why he made it like a kids movie.
Which is such bullshit. That's such that's coping.
And even the guy who did who played, I don't even remember the evil person's name. In the movie, but the bad guy, the antagonist, the guy who farts whenever he laughs.
I don't even know what.
Whoever played that was like also coping. He's like, I knew it was made for kids. I had a lot of fun while I was doing it.
But it's not made for kids though, and it wasn't. Like that wasn't the intention.
Yeah,
of it.
And that's why there's so many tonal shifts. And then also throughout the movie, there's so many weird shifts in the tone of the movie. Like, is it supposed to be a spy movie? Is it supposed to be? I don't know. It was weird. And they did like this typical spy thing where they're like. Did it like a typing thing at the bottom where it shows like the destination and what they're doing. And it's like, why did they start doing that? What is he doing?
I didn't even, I honestly didn't even like put 2 and 2 together until now that was because of Mission Impossible.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like, I would have like never
the only
known
Mission Impossible
that.
thing that's stuck.
And the other thing you brought up, another IMDb fact we read about it. There's so many great trivia facts about it. I suggest everybody go.
I suggest really looking at this. These are great. 2 of the worst jokes were written by Adam Sandler, and I fucking love that.
I forgot about that too. The one thing I was going to bring up is that the movie was like supposed to be a lot longer, but they watched it and it was so incoherent that they were like, we got to cut like half of this because none of this makes any sense. And then they took those scenes that they cut out and then they just put them in the credits. And it's like the longest credit scene ever. We didn't even watch it.
And there was actually an after credits scene too.
Yeah.
Which we did watch.
Which also made no sense. And it was so stupid.
Yeah, it was really weird. And that was very much like we have to add something to this so it reads an hour and 19.
Yeah. And we get to know who the slapping dummy is that nobody gave a shit about.
That no one asked for. That's one of the biggest things about movies is, I guess even today, is that they just explain things that don't need to be fucking explained.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was huge. That was a huge part. I wasn't ever like, oh, I wonder if someone's inside the robot.
Yeah. But it'll be funny because it's a little person, and that's really funny in the early 2000s.
And they also, he did an Indian impression for a solid 5 minutes.
Oh, man.
Which was like horrible.
And
holy fuck, dude!
And the another great trivia fact.
It wasn't just an Indian impression; it was like wearing brown face with like a nose. Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. But another trivia fact is they wanted to make sure that people didn't think that he was playing a Middle Eastern person because it was right after 9/11. So they made sure that he said that he's from India. Or something like that. That he said something about India
3 times.
That's right. Yeah, just like he said turtle 7 times.
And
just
then
to make sure you knew he was a turtle.
There's also supposed to be a anorexic, like anti-anorexic messaging throughout this movie because he's into big butts.
Which is like, again, that's not humor for kids.
No,
like, kids
that was like the only like innuendo I guess that he got away with.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a fucking weird movie, and I wish it didn't stick with me. But it's one of those movies where it's like, God damn, I cannot believe they made this.
And it was
purely like early 2000s. Like this was firmly early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
The film grade of it, just everything looked exactly like the 2000s. And they spent most of the money on like the set design and getting the rights to the music.
Yeah.
In the fucking movie.
Yeah. And then a Madonna reference.
Yeah.
That they
paid 70 like 17 or 70,000.
Who knows?
I think it's whatever.
Thousands.
They spent a large amount of money just to say
Yeah.
like one line about Madonna.
Which is probably worth so much today. It's
Oh,
probably
yeah. Oh, my
double
God.
than it was then. Do you have the sound bite up?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. There was a sound bite that we played like 8 times in a row where one of the antagonists, who I just
Is the
realized
boyfriend of
his assistant,
Uh-huh.
which I just realized, did he ever even come back in the end?
Yeah, he gets
I
spilled
guess he
on
did.
again and they beats him up.
So he has a line where her son crashes.
He's really bad at skateboarding.
He's really bad at skateboarding. And he crashes, and like the pistachio goes to comfort him, and you just hear like in the background, but way too loud. Really loud. Doesn't even sound like his voice. It was definitely added in post of him going, "What a loser.
What a loser.
What a loser."
So odd. It's at 42 minutes and 12 seconds. You will hear it if you go and skip to it. It's fucking weird. It's
Go on
bizarre.
Tubi. Go to that moment and just hear it. Maybe I can try and pull it up now because it might be.
Hold on, I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay, good.
That's Death Race. Hold on. We started watching Death Race after that. What was the name of the movie?
Master of Disguise. What's the movie called again? I can just vamp for a little bit on that. Well, let me just say while you get that pulled up, a good thing I watched, not a shit movie. Wasn't even a movie. It was I guess a series. Technically, it's 2 episodes though. That just came out on HBO Max called Wise Guy, the Sopranos / David Chase documentary. So good, amazing. It's not like, I think as a documentary, I don't find it amazing. I just find it amazing because like I will watch anything about the Sopranos. So in that sense,
I even got clips of on TikTok.
Oh, really?
And I thought that was really good.
I did,
even in the minute-long TikTok I saw.
Personally, I didn't like. I've seen a lot of great documentaries. I just didn't feel like it was like an amazing. I don't know, just something about it.
Groundbreaking thing.
Yeah, and it was just a little too like, it kind of felt a little fan servicey at first. Like they were like, we're gonna shoot it on the therapy set, and we're gonna do all this and that, and like they like the whole intro is like David Chase David Chase and the documentary director like pretty much reenacting the first time Tony goes to therapy, and it's like, and it was just kind of like, this really wasn't needed. I just want to like, I don't know. It just felt a little odd. I didn't love that. Personally?
Did they start out with like they had the main camera, and then off the camera they were filming from the off camera, and then they did like a clap, and they're like,
maybe at one point, but I don't know.
Yeah,
but anyways,
that's like the biggest trope. I hate.
I just thought that part was a little odd, but after we got over that hump, it was just like I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. Like of course I love Sopranos, my favorite show of all time. And like I said, anything about it, one of the best shows of all time. And just hearing them talk about it was amazing. And it's also very depressing at the same time, because it's like the thing you don't think about with making a show like The Sopranos is like, there is humor in The Sopranos, which is great. They do it excellently, but it's mostly a very dramatic, sad, dark show, because it's about a villain, who like at the same time you're also kind of rooting for. Like your emotions get played with watching it. Now imagine being the person who has to make that show. Like you got to put yourself in that place. The actors have to put themselves into these characters.
Bleak world.
Yeah. And like that's something you really don't think about until you hear them talking about it. And like David Chase is just like the most depressed director I've ever heard talk. And he's like, I realized watching it, sounds exactly like Bill Maher. Like,
really?
He's talking kind of like this. And
he talks like Bill Maher.
He's like, if Bill Maher was interesting, like
Yeah.
He has the same same flat tone. He like sometimes will like laugh or something, but it's mostly just this deadpan delivery. But yeah, it was just super interesting to hear about like I didn't realize that a lot of it is based in reality of what David grew up with. Like the reason that Tony's mom is such a prevalent character in the first few seasons before she dies, which actually I didn't realize that the actress who plays her was dying. And like, that's why they had to kill her character off, is because she was literally like suffering. But the whole time she was suffering, I forgot what she was suffering from. Like she was telling David, like, keep me going, like keep me in the show as much as you can until like you can't anymore. But like the reason why she was so prevalent is because like that was like what David's mom was like. And so he like that was the hardest person for him to cast, was Tony's mom, is because he like was so specific
adamant about it being
be.
like his mom. Yeah.
And the other cool thing about this was like they showed a lot of the audition tapes, and they showed Paulie Walnuts auditioning for Tony Soprano, and they showed like all these other characters auditioning for Tony, and then they showed like people auditioning for his mom, and they have the actual audition of who ended up playing Tony's mom doing it. And that was so cool. Any of that stuff I like. It can be about anything. Like that's why I became a Beatles fan, is because I loved watching, the
behind the scenes.
Yeah, the behind the scenes,
the production.
It's so crazy to watch how people work. But yeah, anyways, go watch that. Watch Sopranos first if you haven't watched Sopranos, and then go watch the documentary, because it's fascinating, super fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
What a loser.
There it is.
What a loser.
After we are done recording here, let's do raise your volume. I want after we're done recording.
One more time.
Okay. This is the raw. Okay, everybody be quiet.
I'm okay.
What a loser.
Okay, I'm gonna clip that because I need that.
What a loser.
I need that for my next soundboard that I'm gonna get after I ditch this one. Anything else about Master Disguise?
I've
got nothing about it.
I've got nothing. Yeah, I fucking hate that movie. That is a horrible movie. That's probably one of the worst movies I've ever watched.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It led us down a rabbit hole of I don't know, the actor who played his dad or something.
The actor who played the grandpa was in a movie called Flush Suitcase.
The heroin connection, which was a German film, and then we really wanted to watch that and we couldn't. But the reason we loved it so much, and I'll show the picture up on screen here if I remember, is that the poster for it, the guy in the poster is a 1-to-1 match to Walter White. Like
Breaking Bad.
It's unbelievably perfect how much he looks exactly like Walter White. Like it makes me wonder if there's any connection to that. Like if the creator of Breaking Bad, whose name I can't remember, like had seen that and was like, "Oh, I like the way this guy looks," or if it's just completely unrelated. I don't know. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, because this is like a movie that is like you can't find it anywhere. It's like we found it on a German streaming site.
It's only on a German streaming site, and you had to pay for the streaming site. There's no other way to watch it. None.
I want to watch it. Flesh Suitcase.
I gotta watch it, even if it's German sub.
I'll watch it in German. I don't care. I just want to know.
I need to know more about that movie. But yeah.
What if we watch it and it's literally Breaking Bad?
That would be crazy. I would lose my mind.
But from I think it was 92 or something, or 94.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So
bizarre.
I love these movie nights though. I want to keep doing more of them because it just is always just so stupid. And it's just been you and I. I guess Spencer was there for a little bit with Fantastic Planet, but that was a bust. We need to do it. We told him he could pick the movie next time. But yeah, because
just can't be Birdemic.
Yeah, if he brings up Birdemic, I told him
I'm ending it.
Okay, though we've rambled on for long enough. Let's get to our What You Listening To, the segment we do every single week, where we recommend a song, album, or artist to each other, to the audience, that we've been listening to in the past week. Gavin, what do you have this week, or do you need me to go first?
No, I got it. So I went on a 3-mile walk yesterday.
I saw.
And
I had my constituents watching you.
Okay.
No, you posted a picture with headphones on outside, and I was like, he's walking.
Oh yeah, I'm walking. And I was listening to Louis Armstrong.
Whoa, okay.
Someone had recommended it to me, and I was like, I'll listen to it right now. But it's Louis Armstrong, Louis in London, live at the BBC.
London?
It doesn't say like when it was like originally recorded. It just says live at the BBC, and it was just like released in July. So
interesting.
But I didn't realize like how many jazz standards are Louis Armstrong related. So I was very I was pleased, to say the least, and I enjoyed it. I was like, you know, I hadn't listened to jazz like that in a long time, so it was nice to listen to that, and it was perfect day for it. It was kind of like that. It was kind of gloomy, and it was waiting to rain, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to some jazz. So, and it wasn't like too far-fetched. It was very much like he was playing like for an audience, and it sounds like the audience was pretty damn into it. I don't know what year this was, but they were like fucking clapping, like they were like. He said that people were like dancing. He's like, people are dancing on it. I see people dancing.
He's
like, yeah, you know. He's like, we did this one over there for Disney. And he did the bare necessities.
Bare death necessities.
The bare necessities is on here, and yeah, it's great.
That's fun.
And also, I thought it was interesting. My jazz band in college for 3 years.
Humble brag.
We would always end every gig with "When the Saints Go Marching In." And
Really?
Yes, every time we had to end it with "When the Saints Go Marching In."
Okay.
And I think that this came from Louis Armstrong, because at the end of this album, he ends it with "When the Saints Go Marching In."
Weird. Okay.
And it's like it gives you enough time to kind of be like, and this person on the drums.
Oh, okay.
And this person on clarinet, and this person on trombone.
That makes sense then.
Yeah. So it was really cool, and it's such a great album. I think like. I don't think that you would like it particularly, but
I like jazz. I
think it's a lot more singing than it is jazz. I think it's more of like it's like Louis Armstrong singing, which, you know, here
it's an acquired taste.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I've listened to "What a Wonderful World" probably 100 times at this point. But
I'd probably like it.
Yeah, it's really great. It's great. It's a lot, and it's also just like a great intro. It's kind of like his not like a greatest hits album, but it's kind of like a greatest live.
But I like live.
Yeah.
I like live stuff.
It is live, and it sounds fantastic for whatever year that this was recorded. I'll have to look this up. Like, hold on, I have to look this up right now.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, I wonder when that. I'm curious to know when that was recorded. The other thing I just want to say, just about jazz in general, that I was just thinking about is like, you hear jazz standards, and it's just like it's almost becomes like background noise. You don't think about the lyrics.
Yeah.
You don't think about anything, and then you hear a jazz song that's not a jazz standard, and you listen to the lyrics, and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah,
like it sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's literally like what the fuck? Yeah, that's kind of how these songs are too. And he actually dedicated a song. This was recorded in 1968, and I knew it was recorded in 1968 because they dedicated the songs. They dedicated these songs to the mothers who have children fighting in Vietnam.
Wow.
So, and that one was "You'll Never Walk Alone." So that was pretty cool. I was like,
yeah.
I mean, as much as Louis Armstrong, I'm sure had plenty of adversity in any of his live shows. I would love to read a book about Louis Armstrong just because. I mean, he's such an artist, and I feel like for the time that he was playing in, with the civil rights movement and stuff like that, it's incredible that he was even able to have like a performing band.
Yeah.
Get back there with them, you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, I mean all of those jazz and blues artists of that
Just
era
insane.
that are, you know, like the black artists.
Probably
it's crazy
the toughest people.
Yeah, it has to be. And it's crazy that we were able to know about them and know their music and everything. Like
right.
And
there's probably so many more that just like we'd never heard about.
Yeah.
That were probably either just as good, if not better.
Exactly.
That some people would argue about. But Louis in London, go give it a listen. It's great.
I will. I'm gonna do just that. Well, Gavin, I'm not going to be one-upping you because that's a pretty good rec. I'm not going to lie. Because my rec is, I wouldn't say it. It's a rec, and I do like it, but it's a rec because it's what I've been listening to. But I also want to give a big shout out to them. I'm not like downplaying or saying it's bad in any way. It's just maybe not necessarily for me. So I've been listening to Foxing's new album, self-titled Foxing. Foxing is a band that like,
I've heard of them before. Every time you mention them, I swear to God, I've heard them.
I've never really been able to get into them as a band, like into their catalog. It's just not necessarily for me per se. It's, you know, it's indie rock, which is never usually my
St. Louis,
thing.
that's why I know that.
Yeah, they're from St. Louis. I was going to say that. It's never really my thing. But I will say their song, The Medic, which is their most well-known song. You've heard it. I think I've even recommended it on the show. I would put up as like one of the greatest songs of all time. Like not even making a joke. Like I think it's a perfect song. It's so good. It's just a beautiful, beautiful song, and it just builds and builds. I love that song. I listen to it it's one of those songs that I can listen to every single day and it would still be as perfect as it is. Like it gives me goosebumps listening to it every single time. Like genuinely that is not a joke or anything. So anytime they release new stuff, I'm always on it because they're from St. Louis, because I love that song so much. And I think I've mentioned this before too. Maybe I haven't. I can't remember if I did or not, but their lead vocalist, is a Patreon member of Office Hours, which is really cool, which I found out because, I want to say like Brooklyn Vegan or Hard Times or one of those like music, news sites did an interview with him, and did what his favorite albums of the year were from, I think it was last year or the year before. And one of the albums he talked about was Tim Heidecker's latest album, High School. And he like talked about that, and he's like, I'm a huge fan. I was like, grew up on Tim and Eric. I'm a huge fan then became a huge fan of his music. And I'm also a member of his Patreon for his podcast, Office Hours Live. And Tim had reposted that, and I was like, whoa, that's so fucking crazy. I never knew that. And like, that's so bizarre to like, you know, having listened to this song, The Medic, and known about Foxing for years prior. And then for him to, you know, be like that much of a fan that he's a Patreon member. So that was really cool to find out. So anytime they release stuff, I'm always going to be on it for several reasons, you know. And so this came out, and, you know, again, the whole album's not for me, and that's perfectly fine. I do have to say though, the first song on the album, Secret History, is like one of those songs that blew me away, because it's like, it's pretty slow, and then they just scream, and it's like this screaming rock, almost hardcore sounding stuff that like I think doesn't even come back again. And it's like, I think Secret History and then maybe the next song, Hell 99, have some screaming elements to it, but like such a cool way to open the album, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then the rest of it's kind of more dour, a little bit, you know, more somber,
mellow.
A lot of ambient stuff. So not necessarily for me, but opening the album with that, I was like, oh, this is sick as fuck. So
yeah,
again, big shout out to Foxing, big shout out to their new album. My brother Logan really likes the album, which makes sense because he's a big ambient music fan. So I think you would maybe like it. I don't know if it's necessarily exactly your thing.
I still have to listen to them, so I'll have to give them another listen.
You would know some of their songs. I think a mutual friend of ours is a big fan of them as well. So I would not be surprised if you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, this band, this song. That's all I got.
All right. Well, everybody. All right, it's loading. Hold on.
Give it a second. Let's see if my sounds are doing anything different, huh? Let's find that out. Probably not. Maybe since I let it sit for so long, it'll actually work. Let's find out.
What the fuck?
Did you hear that?
Hello, everybody.
What the fuck?
Hear what? No, it's very, very, very quiet.
Oh, it's quiet for you again because it's loud for me.
Very, very quiet.
Weird. It's like blazing loud for me. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening to Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 184. Keep watching, keep listening, keep subscribing, keep liking, keep following, keep doing everything that you would be doing with us online.
And we'll see you same time next week.